Am I the asshole for buying myself an Xbox when my boyfriend said he got me one for my birthday last year? My boyfriend, 20 years old, and I, 24 years old, have been dating for about a year and a half now. We're long distance and he's been out here to visit me about 4 times, 4 weeks at a time. Last year on my birthday in June, he had told me that he had gotten me an Xbox. I was really excited because I've had mine since 2016. We met for the first time last October. He didn't bring it with him that time. No big deal. He only had a small bag at that time. Fast forward to December, he came out for Christmas. He brought a bigger bag and even asked if he could bring his PS5 so we could play games together, and I said yes. After Christmas, he went home and I asked about the Xbox. Whenever I asked him, he got frustrated and said I was nagging him about it, but he'll just send it to me in the mail.
That's my question. Why didn't he just do that if he actually has bought it?
A few weeks go by and nothing.
Okay.
So I ask him again, and he gets really upset again. He said it was in a box under his bed and he didn't want to deal with it right now.
Cool.
How dare you make me go under my bed? It got to the point where I just said that it didn't matter whether or not he bought it. I just wanted to know. We got into a huge fight about it again, and I told him I wanted proof that he actually had it. He sent me a picture of the box. I was suspicious about it because he had mentioned to me before that his best friend had the same Xbox I wanted.
Oh.
So in my head, I was thinking that he had just taken a picture of his friend's old Xbox box. But I promised him I'd let it go after he sent the picture, so I didn't bring it up. That was sometime in January. My birthday is coming up again, and we were on the phone and he was talking about things to get me. For his birthday, I'd gotten him a game and a vinyl wrap for his PS5, so I had told him a wrap for my Xbox would be cool, my way of hinting that I wanted my Xbox. And he said no, and that he'd think of something better. Isn't this the most annoying person you've ever met in your life? This guy? This dude. Oh, God.
Dude, do you remember the scene in Scrubs where JD said that every year on his birthday, his dad would send him a part of a bike? He'd be like, yeah, I got the handlebars finally. Like, really fucking
Dude,
funny.
getting the wrap for your Xbox before you get the Xbox? God damn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I promised him I wouldn't bring it up again, but it's almost been a year. He's coming out for my birthday, so I thought maybe he'd bring it. We were texting about my gift the other day, and he had mentioned he needed to buy what he was getting me. So to me, it sounded like he wasn't bringing it. I've been wanting this Xbox for so long, and I was sick of waiting, so I went looking on eBay and bought one.
Okay.
It's coming this weekend, so I had to tell him. I told him not to be mad, but I bought myself the Xbox. I tried to explain my reasoning and that I didn't want to wait anymore because my Xbox now barely works. But he got so mad at me and just said, quote, "That was a fucking waste of $500. So I offered to pay him back for it, and he said he doesn't want my money. Now he's really upset with me and it has me questioning if I messed up that I ended up buying the Xbox for myself. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend told me he bought me an Xbox for my birthday last year in June. He never brought it. I bought it for myself and now he's pissed at me. Am I the asshole?"
My question is, before we get into the update, and then after this is kind of a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
We can just get into the update.
No, fair.
Do you like him? Not like it's your fault, but like he seems deeply unlikable.
Yeah.
And annoying.
Update. He ended up sending a long text this morning about how pissed he was and that it was stupid that I bought it for myself. He was going to bring it. The only reason he didn't tell me was because it was supposed to be a surprise for my birthday. He said he's pissed because he bought more accessories for the Xbox too, so he'd spent well over $600. But now that I bought one for myself, I should keep it and he's not going to give me anything he's got. I told him that he should have just sent it in the first place. He told you.
Yeah, now you're not going to get anything of all the shit that he definitely has, for sure.
Having your friend's Xbox boxes.
No, I'm not going to give you anything.
I totally have.
I totally bought it.
After fucking gaslighting them for what?
Love that
a
shit,
year?
Man. I love it when a gaslighter is really bad at lying. Yeah. Really, really bad. It's funny as fuck.
I told him he should have just sent it in the first place and it wouldn't have got to the point where I had to buy it myself. I also explained that I didn't need expensive gifts and that if he didn't get it for me and just wanted to impress me, he should have told me when I gave him the opportunity to come clean. He explained the reasoning everything was so expensive was because I liked gaming and Legos, parentheses, which are expensive, so it wasn't to impress me. He apologized because he made me so upset about it for so long and that he didn't think about it because it was under his bed.
Are you
Out of
2
sight,
or
out of
are you
mind.
3 or you haven't developed object permanence yet, I guess?
I told him I felt like he never listened or cared about it because I had, quote, nagged him multiple times about sending it, but he still somehow forgot. He apologized for being lazy and making it seem like he didn't care about it, how he should have brought it in the first place and that he was wrong for not doing that. I'm even more conflicted at this point. Maybe I should have just waited for my birthday, but it genuinely sounded like he wasn't going to bring it. Final update. I ended things with him today. I couldn't do it on the phone, so I did it over text. Everything he said proved that you were all right. He's trying to manipulate me back into the relationship, but I'm at my breaking point.
Yeah.
Thank you all for your help on this.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's mom I'm not worried about her approval? I, 27 female, have been dating James, 29 male, for 6 months. I've met his brother and parents very briefly once before this incident, but last weekend was the first time we were attending an event together. It was a family barbecue. I brought a bottle of wine, dressed nice, etc., and we drove out to his family home. I thought the day was going well, everyone was polite and having fun, but I was not enjoying the food, and while I obviously wasn't going to say anything, I didn't end up eating much. I'm just picky, I guess. I was, however, helping out and talking to people. James's mom noticed I wasn't eating much and kept trying to feed me, which I kept politely declining. She was getting kind of loud and whiny about it, which I didn't appreciate because it felt like she was trying to shame me into eating.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I started getting a bit firmer with my refusal, and she started getting visibly annoyed. Eventually, when I went inside to the bathroom, she cornered me.
What?
Jesus.
Time to start punching. What the fuck? You're cornering me in the bathroom?
She brought up a couple of quote-unquote small things she noticed throughout the day. That I didn't interact with the children a lot. I looked quote-unquote annoyed throughout the day.
What?
I have a resting bitch face. And that I didn't eat a lot. She said she just wanted to raise these things now as James really liked me and I needed to make more of an effort to get her quote-unquote seal of approval.
What?
She said it jokingly, and maybe she was joking, but it came off passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
I was honest with her and said I wasn't worried about her approving of me, and while I had a lot of respect for her and her family, whether they liked me was their business. Not really my concern, and I was happy with how I conducted myself. She looked pretty confused by this, but before she said anything else, other people came inside, and that was the end of the conversation. I didn't mention the conversation to James because I didn't want to embarrass him or his mom, and I figured she wouldn't either.
Oh, no.
But she did.
Oh, no.
She called him the next day and told him the story and said I was arrogant and not family-oriented.
We got a fucking tattletale on our midst, too? Are you fucking kidding me? You wanted to strike. You're such a fucking crybaby, dude. I'm sorry. You cornered this person.
Dude,
like some fucking.
We got a fucking
tattletale.
So we got a fucking tattletale?
No, because like go fuck yourself. Like I don't know.
Dude.
I'm just in shock, man.
Yeah. I said to James that it was a bit ironic coming from someone who thought so much of their own opinion. I told him I wanted to make a good impression, but I was never going to be the girl to twist myself into a pretzel for his mom. Yeah. And if he liked me how I was, that was what I care about. James was very non-committal about taking sides, but said while his mom was wrong to bring issues to me like that, it's normal for a girlfriend to try a bit harder with a mother-in-law, and that my brush-off made her feel unimportant.
And that sitting asshole, sorry.
And I looked down upon her. He said he'd really appreciate it if I would contact her and apologize, and so far I've refused, which he says will make things awkward in the future. But I don't think I owe her an apology for being honest and redressing a power dynamic that she had created in her own head after she was incredibly pushy and patronizing. I think if we met again and she treated me as an equal, not a girl auditioning for her family, then it wouldn't be awkward at all. Yeah. But did I go overboard?
Trigger warning on this one, friends. It does contain talks of a physical altercation, and I feel like it could be triggering for those that have dealt with any physical attacks or abuse, so proceed with caution on this one. Markers are in the description. This is 16 days old now, coming from AITAH. It is titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize for slapping my boyfriend when he smashed our birthday cake in my face? Oh. My female 34 boyfriend, Charles, male 38, and I celebrate our birthdays together. This year, I contributed a small private room at a restaurant, and we invited 11 people. 4 of them are my local friends. The rest are his family members. I wanted to celebrate a new achievement in my career and thought it would be great to just splurge a little and get some delicious food. So we had access to the menu, drinks, and our cake. I'd agreed to pay for half of the food, aside from having rented the small space by myself. The space was paid for in advance, the food at the end, as in any restaurant. We had issues last year because I felt he was doing low-effort things while I always did my best to give him a nice birthday celebration. We have an income gap, but it wasn't even about money. I was making less money last year, and I still made things work for him. So this year, he took care of inviting people, paid for the cake, and got me a spice rack as a present, which I loved. I made myself pretty, got my eyebrows and eyelashes done, and had my hair done too. We were told to pose and pretend to blow out the candles because I didn't want to blow germs all over our cake. Then we each had a picture alone with the cake. When it was my turn, I was holding the cake when he pushed my face towards the cake, so I tried to fight it. His family started cheering, and he arched over my body and forced me to bend over until my face smashed the cake. My friends tried to get him off me, and he resorted to plastering cake and frosting on my hair. I don't need to describe the mess because I'll never be able to end this post. But I ended up slapping him when he attempted to do it again.
Again?
His mother got up and she got into an argument with one of my guests. I had to cross the main floor with cake all over my face to use the restroom. When I looked in the mirror, I had cake on my neck, and my blouse had red and blue coloring that didn't come off. I had to wash my face and got my hair in a bun because it looked way less messy that way. When I came back, his family were all long faces. I told him what he did was unacceptable, and he said it was just a joke, that everyone has done that for ages, and that me slapping him just ruined my image in front of his family. I started crying and gathered all of my stuff to leave. I notified him that he should pay for himself and his guests. My friends insisted on paying for their own food, but I refused, and we ended the night right there. My friends wanted to treat me to having dinner elsewhere, but I wasn't comfortable with my appearance. They ended up sending me the money that I spent, and that broke my heart. Charles had to pay for half of the remaining bill and got charged a cleaning fee. I still love him, but I'm clear that I'll never be able to forgive him. We talked about it, and I ended things. He's convinced that I never loved him. He acknowledged what he did was wrong, but is adamant that his family hates me for slapping him and that it's my fault. I told him that he ruined not only our birthday, but also my way to celebrate my career milestone. I've worked very hard to get where I am, and that his behavior showed me what my future would look like. And that I'm sorry to say it, but he was so aggressive and so focused on making his family laugh at my expense that I just realized he's not good enough and that I've lost my confidence to be seen with him in public because I don't know what else he will pull out of his ass.
Literally.
He says he paid for that cake, that he's not saying that it was okay to smash it, but it's not like I paid for everything. He wanted me to apologize to his mom.
No.
But I refused.
Good.
Important. I'm not proud of my reaction. We've never had any physical altercations. He says his mother feels humiliated because of what I did and that she has been struggling with mild depression for years. I didn't know, and I came off as violent.
He came off as violent. He forced it. Like, from the sounds of it, she was resisting and he was still forcing. That is violent. That's not okay. A slap is absolutely reasonable.
Self-defense.
Literally.
Am I the asshole for refusing? I already blocked him.
Actually, you do owe the mom an apology. You should look at her and say, I'm sorry that you raised a shitty son.
I would. I'd call and be like, I'm so sorry you have to live with the burden of this being your son.